Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning quick conversation. All right. So, how many of you, or when was the last time you went to school as a teacher or as a student when it was raining? I'm not asking this to those in the US, I'm asking those in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Zimbabwe, African countries. All right. We are asking ourselves back home. When was the last time it was raining and you actually went to school or went to work? I guess your response is as good as my guess, right? Most of us will not do it. Most of us will not do it. Why? Because we use it as an excuse to stay back home. We use it as an excuse to stay home. Teachers will be happy, students will be happy that it is raining, and that ends it. But you see, in some of these places, you cannot use that as an excuse. Even if it's snowing, they will plow the snows, create way for you to go. So those of you who are desiring, those of you who are applying, those of you who are making your mind to come to some of these places, these are some of the things you should be mindful of. Whether it is raining or it is snowing, you will still go to school. Ask those in Colorado, ask those in Arizona, ask those in some of these places, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska is a normal thing for them. So you will still go. That's just by the way. Today, let's talk about something else. And how many of we teachers have asked this question? Do you understand? I know, it's something we've all experienced as students and we've all experienced or we are practicing as teachers, right? We ask the chorus question and we get a chorus answer. Do you understand? Yes, madam. Do you get it? Yes, madam. And why are we asking those questions? We are asking those questions because it is our way of checking for understanding. All right? It is our way of checking for understanding, making sure that students understand what we are talking about. But has it been an effective way of checking for understanding? In all your years of practice, has that approach, excuse me, be an effective way? When our teachers used that approach on us, was it effective? Did they really know that we understood what they were talking about or what they taught us? But unfortunately, our new age teachers, in fact, I am also part of it, we are still repeating the same mistake. Yesterday, I was in the training and I learned one. In fact, there was a lot of things that we talked about. We talked about data, how we are progressing, and all those things. But there was just one thing that I picked. He said, what? Check for understanding and not presence. Check for understanding and not just their presence in your classroom. Because if you ask questions like, do you understand? Does anybody have any question? Say, no, madam. We all move on, right? I am merely asking if they are there. If they are still with me in the classroom. Are you with me? They say, yes, sir, we are with you. What are you with me? How do I know that you are with me? There must be a proof. There must be something that will show that you are with me. You understand what I'm talking about. You comprehend what I am teaching. And that is what we call checking for understanding. Checking for understanding is a very simple process or method where we check for how students have assimilated or comprehended the concept that we are delivering to them. And we all know that there are so many ways you can do that. Yep, there are so many effective ways you can do that. Not just by asking, do you have any question? There are people who will not talk in our classrooms because they are scared that they'll be laughed at. They are scared that they'll make a mistake. You understand? They see you, this chemistry teacher, you are so hundious. Right? If I say hundious, you scare them. You make chemistry look like it is a do and die. Abdul, good morning. Your students shouldn't be scared of you because you make the subject look scary. No. You should create a confidence in them that will give you the feedback you need as a teacher. That is the only way you can get a feedback from them. Feedback is very, very, very important. So instead of asking those close-ended questions, oh, do you understand? What do you expect them to tell you? They understand now, Theophilus. They understand. But how do you know as a teacher that they understood or they understand what you just taught or you are teaching? How? You can use open-ended questions. What do you think we can do? You know, at that moment, you are calling for their input. How will I proceed if I see a question like this? If I see this, what do you suggest I do? How? Any question that opens up their thought process is a good question to use in checking for understanding. All right? If you are the type who wants to ask questions, yes. We want to ask the students a feedback, right? We want to get their feedback. Those are one of the ways you can use open-ended questions. It throws it on the floor, and if possible, call them by name. Oh, Brown, can you give me your view of what you have learned today? In fact, in summary, in 2 sentences, tell me what you have learned in class today. Theophilus, can you share with everyone what you have learned? Or write it on a piece of paper and I'll come around for it. Maybe somebody doesn't want to talk. They are scared of talking. Prince, they are scared of talking. They are scared of that. I mean, they are shy of that one little boy in that class. So they don't want to talk, right? Give them a means to express their view. These you can use to check for your understanding easily. Whether they understood what you really taught. You are teaching osmosis. Osmosis looks big, right? But you want to be sure that they truly understand what you are teaching. And how will you check for that? Let them write it. Open-ended questions. Or give them a work to do. Very basic, right? Very basic. Most of us grew up with teachers giving us homeworks as a means to check for our understanding. But over time, it's been confirmed that homeworks are not the effective ways of checking for understanding. So if you come to my class, Kutekum, good morning. I am doing well. Abena, you asked a question. He said, I don't move on. I check whether they understand through questioning, practice work. Exactly. Before you move on. So it's like you are doing immediate, how do you call it? You are addressing misconceptions immediately. Yes. So immediately you address whatever misconception they have. So if you, as you are teaching, you check. As you are teaching, you check. Can you write on a piece of paper what you just learned in the last 5 minutes? You go around, you collect it, you read. Then it gives you an idea of what is happening in the classroom, whether the classroom, what you are actually delivering is going well or not. All right. So I was talking about homework. For me, since I came here, I don't give homework. Yes, because it's not an effective means of me checking whether, because they'll go home, they'll copy and they'll bring it. That's what we all did. Come on, when we were in school, students, our colleagues would do the work, then we just copy and we go and submit. Even in the university, that's what we did. One person will do it and all of us will just type it, the same thing, and we go and present. After all, you just want the presentation, right? So we give it to you. But for the teacher to know whether everything has been well understood, you need to use different approaches. Yeah, one of them is immediately checking for it whilst in the class. Immediately. You ask open-ended questions immediately in the class. Solomon, can you share with us what you understand by osmosis? At that moment, Solomon will express his or her view, and you will know that, oh, okay, so I must tweak my lesson this way. I've had such moments where I missed the opportunity to express or to explain concepts to my students. So there was this student who I asked them to explain average. We're talking about mean, right? And I used the word average. And I said, what does average time mean to you? And one student says, oh, it's kind of the total, or it's a total. And in order not to bruise the ego of that student, I said, yes, that is good. That is good. You know, as teachers, right? But on a hindsight, I realized that I missed the opportunity to address the misconception right there. Yes. You know, as teachers, we don't want to bruise the ego of our students. We don't want to make them feel like they are dumb. We don't want to make them feel like, oh, discourage them, right? So they give an answer, and we kind of agree a little bit. I mean, some people will use the word, not quite right. You are almost there, so try. That is a proper way, right? That is a more acceptable way to do it. But for most of us, we just agree and we move on. And in the mind of some other students, they think whatever Solomon said is right because you agreed. Yes. So sometimes when they play back your own lessons to you, or you go back on your hands and say, oh no, I made a big mistake. I should have addressed this misconception right there and there and now. Yes, it will make the student feel hurt, but that is the right thing to do. Or you give the feedback. That was a good try. That was a good try, but not quite right. So let's see. Let's tweak it. Who can tweak it for us? Who can add something to make what Solomon has said to be complete, to make it complete? That is a way you check for your understanding. You give students the opportunity to address whatever misconceptions they have right in the class. If you feed on it and they leave, you have a whole explanation to do. You understand? Innocent, you have a whole explanation to do. So Innocent will ask you, so say, what is median? Say, how do I calculate the median of a set of numbers? Then I throw it back to the class and I said, okay, Abena, can you tell us? Or John, can you tell us what you would do in order to calculate the mean of a data set or the median of a data set? John will give their view. And in order not to make John feel that he's dumb, you respond in a positive way. That is reinforcing the misconception. Are we okay? So as teachers, as we teach every day, as we engage with our students every day, one of the things I will put out, or I will say, or I will encourage us to do, is to be checking for understanding as we progress. Do not wait for the class to end. At the tail end of the class, then you say, oh, do you understand? Yes, sir. If you have a very stubborn student, he or she will tell you that, Mr. O, I don't understand. Or say, which one is it that you don't understand? Oh, the whole show. Oh yeah, we've done it before to our teachers, and some students have done it to us. Some students have done it to us. You ask them, do you understand? They say, no. Which part of the lesson don't you understand? They say the whole thing. Because you waited till the end of your lesson to do what? To check for understanding. And that is the danger of it. That is the danger of it. And this is something that most teachers do. They will teach the whole topic, nouns, adjectives, talk about it, blah, 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 to the end. Do you understand? Yes, madam. But in reality, they don't understand. But as you move along, you can ask them, can you form a sentence with this adjective? Or use an adjective to form a sentence. Oh, can you use it in a statement? As if you're having a conversation with your friends. Can you use this adjective in a statement? That way you are reinforcing their understanding and you are using it as a check whether the thing is going there or not. Whether the thing they enter or not, you know they enter. All right? It's very simple. In fact, we are teachers. We make mistakes. We are not perfect. We are not gods, even though we are semi-gods, because we can destroy people's life or we can make them. But that does not give us the right to destroy great minds. So my little bit is to encourage all of us to be as professional as possible. I know sometimes the circumstances will not permit it. Yes, if I say circumstances, your class size. I know most of us back home in Africa, we have big class sizes. You are teaching 58 students in one class. You are teaching 45 students in one class. You have about 60 students in one class. So it is difficult to be doing these things professionally. Checking for understanding, picking their feedbacks, you know, those things. But as much as you can, have a breakout point in your lessons. Have a breakout point in your lessons. As you go along, you check. As you go along, you check. It doesn't become... I mean, that's why I said you can use so many means. You can even say, give me a thumbs up if you are... I mean, you have a good understanding of what we are talking about. Or gives me a thumbs down if you have a challenge with any part of the lesson. That way, you can easily do a count. Oh, okay, we have about 30% who are having a thumbs down. All right. Now, then you go specifically. Which part? Let them talk. Some of us, our classroom students don't talk. In fact, we are the ones, we love hearing our own voices. The teacher will talk from morning to evening and nobody will talk some. You know? But it is when you give the opportunity to the students, that is where you get a good feedback. And for those who have the thumbs up, you can even use them and say, listen, okay, those of you who have your thumbs up, can you explain whatever we are talking about, the concept, to your peers? MFA, good morning. Some of them will do it gladly. Some of them will do it. And in fact, they will be more effective than even you that was teaching. Because they understood it in a way, they've broken it down and they've pieced it together in another way, or how their brains are working. So they present it back to their peers. It makes it more easier on you. So if you have a large class, you can use some of these means, or you can make use of the little pieces of feedback that it can give you. Do not wait after the whole lesson. You go and give one big homework, 6 questions, 8 questions. It becomes difficult for you to grade and even give feedback. It is one thing to grade the work. It is another thing to give feedback to students. It is very important. You mark that thing wrong. Why is it wrong? I am marking it wrong because of so and so. All right? It is wrong because of this and this. You give the feedback to the students so that that student understands the concept better. I hope we are getting something. This is just something I want to throw out there for all of us to incorporate into our teaching practice. I know it is, the conditions may not be the best. Yes. Sometimes you yourself, you are not of a sound mind before going to the school. Your salary has not been paid. In fact, your salary is not even salary. It's not getting there. But as much as possible, as much as we have signed for this job, we must do it to the best of our abilities. There is nothing we can do. I've come a long way to understand some of these things. It was difficult at first, and we're all complaining. We're all teaching the way Napo was paying us. You know, when I was in Ghana, Napo was there, right? And I always tell my colleagues, well, we'll teach the way Napo pays us. Mm? We are all pretending. The students are pretending to be learning. Teachers are pretending to be teaching. Government is also pretending to be paying teachers. Okay, it's all full of pretense in the society. But I come full circle on some of these things, and I understand things better now. You understand? I see things from different perspectives now, where I just share with you that to the best of our abilities, let us do the right things. Let us, put up a good professional behaviors. That way, we will not destroy a lot of good minds, a lot of beautiful minds, a lot of amazing minds. No, we will not destroy them. But if we don't, we mess them up. And teachers know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, teachers know exactly what I am talking about. Teachers know exactly what I'm talking about. To the best of our abilities, let's put out our professional behavior. Dogbe, let's make sure that we are not destroying those students that have been brought and transferred into our hands. If you don't want to do the job, it is good to walk out rather than go in there and mess up people's children. Michael, I salute you. Collins, I see you. I see all of you. I just couldn't mention your names. I'm sorry if I don't mention your name. Benjamin and Seram, MFA, My Joy, and everyone that interacted with me. I know most of you are not teachers. Some of you are parents, but I put these things out there sometimes so that we parents also become aware that if your child brings home a homework to school, to the house, make sure you understand it. Just a second. Yeah, Dave. All right. So that is why I throw some of these things out. If your children bring homework home, or they give them a work to be done at home, make sure you ask these children. Because yesterday I was having that conversation with my daughter. You were able to do this work. Okay, explain to me how you understood the whole thing. That is a conversation we should be having. How do you know, or how do you understand this particular concept? So I know how to do it. I said, no, it's not about you know how to do it. Explain to me. Okay, take it that I'm one of your friends in the classroom and I don't understand the concept. Explain to me how you understand it and you are able to do it. Then I saw some gaps of understanding right there. You understand? And I use opportunity to explain and help her to understand the whole thing. So listen, when we talk about exponents, this is how it is, and blah blah blah, and because I'm a math teacher, so at least that I can do. When we talk about the civics and all those things, yes, I can do a little bit, but not too much. But the one that is within my purview or my power, I will do what? I will do it. All right. So as mothers, let us, and as parents, let us also make sure we are checking these things. And as teachers, do your best to the best of your ability. Check for understanding as you teach. I know our teachers did not do it, but do it as a teacher. Letitia, tell us in the comment section, how do you check for understanding with your students? Those of you who are teachers, let us share. Maybe somebody will come and read it and learn. All right? Someone shares their own. You can also share your own. How do you check for understanding as you are teaching? As you are teaching that adjectives, nouns, you are teaching that simultaneous equation, you are teaching that algebra, you are teaching that statistics. How do you check for understanding? The science you'll be teaching, digestive system, they are drawing hibiscus flowers and they are labeling it. What is the essence? How do you know that they understand what you have taught? How do you, as a teacher, know that your students understand the topic that you have delivered to them? Delali, let us share our skills, our tactics that we use in the classroom, small ways and means, that tricks that we use in the classroom to do some of these things, so that all of us will be learning. I've shared mine. You can use thumbs up or thumbs down, right? You can use open-ended questions. You can use open-ended questions. Share with the class. I mean, let them give you direct feedbacks. Yes, the feedback. So, Michael, how do you get those feedbacks? Are you using homework alone, or you are just asking them, do you understand? Yes, madam. Yes, sir. Letitia says through classroom discussion. How do you model the classroom discussion? That is all we want to know. All right? How do you model the classroom discussion? Dogwe says, my boy tried to explain to me yesterday how to change improper fraction to a mixed fraction. I listened, though he had an idea, but wasn't convincing. Anyway, I used the opportunity to explain the further. Yes, that's what parents we should do. And you see, you are a teacher at the same time a parent, so it becomes much different. It becomes much different. Rosalind, but if you are just a parent, let's assume you are not even a teacher, these are the things we should do. Question them. How do you understand this concept? How do you know that you understand these chemicals in chemistry? What is the essence of you doing this? Do you know why the teacher asked you to do it this way? It will surprise you that most of the time your children will say, I don't know. He just said we should do it this way. And that is a little flag for you. That your teacher said you should do it this way. You don't understand why you are doing it that way. He or she didn't explain to you why. That the why, in answering the why, you get the picture whether they understand or not. Okay? So, Michael, that is what we are talking about. Real life application. How? Letitia's asking them a question about the lesson treated through the exercise or test. Okay, Letitia, do you do your test after the end of the class, or you do it whilst you are in the class and you go around and you check? Because that is one way you can do it. All right, immediate feedback. Give them 2-3 questions. I told you, teachers, let us avoid giving 5-10 questions to students at a time. No, if 3 questions from what you have taught cannot, give you the feedback you need as a teacher, then there's a question mark. At least you should prepare those questions down. You should know the gaps that will be created in this lesson. Students have misconception in this area. Okay, so these are the questions I'm going to ask. If I ask this question and they're able to answer, then I know that they understand the lesson. But if after everything you go and give the exercise, okay, go to page 54, do exercise 1 to 8. They will do the exercise 1 to 8. Now grading becomes a problem. Now teachers are going to spend a lot of time sitting down. They are marking, and you are marking a class of about 60 students or 54 students. How are you going to grade and give feedback within a proper time? And you are teaching about 4 such classes. How will you assess them, grade them, give feedback, and go and discuss the work you did with them? That is why it is effective to just give 3 questions, 4 questions, and these are short, straight to the point, targeting what you taught. Straight questions. Don't, do any extras. All right? Letitia says you can ask. Letitia, I'm not saying you can ask them. I say, what do you do? Asking them orally. What kind of questions do you ask them orally? You see? It is not just, do you understand? Yes, madam. Prince. Prince the whole, yes. Do you understand? Yes, sir. But deep down, 80% of them don't understand. In fact, you yourself, sometimes you don't understand the lesson you just delivered. Yeah, sometimes you yourself, you know that, no, Charlie, this lesson today, go. You know that this lesson that I've taught today, like, the thing no enter. You don't enter. Chisom, the thing no enter. You yourself, you did the class. Today, Nana, this lesson, I do. This thing no enter. You don't enter. But you ask them, do you understand? Yes, madam. because that is the chorus we are used to. And that is how, because of that, do you understand? But if you ask them a different way, you pull the concept from them. You are tricking their mind to bring the thing. Then you are moving in the Bloom taxonomy. You guys know those educational things. I don't want to be going there. You are moving in the taxonomy from just recollection. Then you move a little bit to analysis, you move gradually because you want to get to the top where they are applying and doing all the complex things. But until you get there, you must start from the bottom of the ladder. Yeah. Evaluate them as the lesson is in progress. So, Michael, how do you evaluate them in the class as a practice? How do you evaluate them? How do you get that evaluation done whilst you are teaching? Remember, you have a limited time to teach. You have a large class. How do you evaluate them? That is why I want us to share, so that a lot of people who will read this or who will listen to this video later will be able to pick one or two. Listen, we are all struggling in our class. There are things people write there that I also practice in my American classroom. It will surprise you. Yes. There are things that you can bring from one culture to another, that you can mix it together and cook a very nice meal, and it's helping us. So let us not think that it is only about those who are outside trying to impose a new way of doing things on those who are, no. These are things that we are supposed to know. Yeah, these are things. Letitia said, no, do you understand? Letitia, please don't ask that question again. Do you understand? Yes, madam. That's the answer you get. Please don't do that again, okay? Please. Make sure you ask them questions, moving them from the lower level of the Bloom taxonomy to the higher level. All right? And I know somebody will say, what is Bloom taxonomy? Oh, my brothers and sisters, if you are a teacher and don't know the Bloom taxonomy, then I'm sorry. My time is up. We'll definitely continue this another time. All right? Have a blessed day. And please, let's keep teaching and let's keep doing our best for our students. Okay? I'll see you when I see you.